I would say y'all need to talk it out, or you need to cut that girl off. And so, anyways, I do want to move. Does anyone have any questions before I move along to fun questions for the last 15 minutes? Or they want to share an experience?
This is more like an observation. But, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. No. Go ahead. Definitely share.
No, it was just an observation that a lot of times, people that are jealous or try to, be jealous towards you, those be some of the dopest people, though. The ones that have the low self-esteem and they're putting the jealousy off towards you. Those be the dopest people sometimes. They be the most pretty, you're beautiful. What do you mean? Why are you this way or whatever like that? This is just an observation. I tend to realize that.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes it's just hard because you want to help your friends or whatever woman is insecure about herself. You try and tell her no, you're gorgeous. What are you talking about? And sometimes they won't even believe you. It's because it's all in themselves. There's low self-esteem. And trust me, I've even been in those shoes where I felt I was not good enough or something, and my friends would just be my cheerleader. What are you talking about? You're fine. I'm no. I need to lose weight. I need to do my makeup better. This guy doesn't like me because I look like this. I was kicking myself in the butt, and I think most girls are so hard on themselves, and it's hard. And I don't it's sad. But anyways, let's go to our fun questions. So, did you want to share? I just heard someone online. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to a couple of questions, and my next one is: do you have both male and female friends, and which gender do you get along with better? And this is just a funny question I like to ask females because everyone's question is different. So who wants to share?
Guys, definitely.
Oh, and why do you get along better with guys?
Because girls tend to be catty, and I guess you get to a point I just never had time for that. I never dug that scene, talking about this girl on the low or hating on this. Girls, sometimes they're just so dramatic and problematic. Guys can be really chill, not with all the drama and the dramatics. So I've always, hung more with the guys than the girls.
Oh no, I can see where you're coming from because that does happen. For me, I need a fair share of I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather be with my girlfriends most of the time because I can cry, I could laugh about certain things I can't tell guys. And there's also times where I just need to vent to a guy friend and I can get their own input about a female or even a relationship. And so for me, I do see why you would say guys. Anyone else want to share?
I'll go.
Okay, so I'll move on. Okay.
I think before my marriage and my relationship, I got along more with guys. But I'm so afraid of messing up things with my relationship that now I have more girlfriends than I do guy friends.
Oh,
that's
no,
understandable.
That's
good. That's understandable.
But I do want you ladies to know that this is a woman's platform and we hold no judgment. We're here for each other and we're here to empower each other. So I don't think we should have any of those issues. So I'll move on to the next one. Have you ever lost a friend over a guy? And this sounds like college or high school stuff, but have any of you ladies lost a female friend over a guy? Wow, you ladies must have really good friends if none of you have lost a female over a guy.
I definitely have had friends get into relationships and then it's where did they go? All of a sudden they're MIA.
that is pretty common. And I'll move on to the next one, which I know a lot of you ladies can answer. What are your biggest pet peeve about jealous women?
Just the negativity all around.
Negative, yes, and judgment, of course.
Yeah, just all around. That's why I've always had like one or two female friends, and then the rest is guys. You know, the whole jealousy thing is like, it's draining.
No, it is, definitely. And how about you, Chastity? What is your biggest pet peeve about jealous women?
I don't know, just their presence. I don't want them around me.
But you want me around you. But you want my presence around you, right?
Yeah, but you're not one of them, so not applicable.
Okay, good. And how about you, Tawanda? What is your biggest pet peeve about jealous women?
I would say my biggest pet peeve about that is you can see a jealous woman, she's jealous with one person, but sometimes it's like this is how she is towards every woman, and that really is just really irking. Like, okay, I thought you just didn't like her and you were jealous. Now is this woman here? Is this woman here? Is this woman there? Then at that point you have to look in the mirror and say the problem is not them, the problem is you. And that just really irks myself because sometimes people are living in a fantasy world and people are in denial, and some people really just don't realize that they're their own problem. So sometimes we have to help them.
You need like that applause, like button or something. Just clap whenever you see.
No, exactly. And you know, like the thing is like women tend to use other girls as a mirror of self-hate, and so a lot of women don't realize it till they see that not very many women want to be friends with her. So that's one thing. Like I said, self-esteem, self-love is like two main reasons why girls end up being like that, being jealous. And for my last question before we do go over announcements, is have you ever met a female who used to use you to get somewhere, whether it could be your job, connections, or a guy you know? So I'm just asking you ladies, like, have you ever had women use you? And who wants to go first?
I have a little bit. It's just because, like I said, I hung out with a lot of guys, so I've had females be my friends, you know, to try and get next to, one of the guys that I hang out with.
Wow, that's crazy. And how about you, Chastity? Have you ever met a female who used you to get somewhere, whether it could be your job, connections, or a guy you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it happens to me pretty often just because like I'm genuinely like a nice person, and I feel like people who are like me like kind of go through like similarities. Only because, you know, you really want to help people and things like that, and then they kind of take advantage of that and, you know, take it a step further. But yeah, you and I have had we've actually had our fair share of encounters with people like that. So it's unfortunate,
yeah.
but it's just like, you know, you can't really, you know, do too much. Like, that's just their personality, and they're probably always going to be like that. You just kind of have to let them figure it out for themselves and wish them the best.
No, definitely. Like, and sometimes, like, when you do have to cut off a friendship, even though, like, they have done something horrible to you, or they've said something about you, and you decide, like, I can't be friends with you anymore, you don't always want to end in bad terms. You just want to wish them well and just say your bye. And I know, like, even for a fact, like, if I cut a friendship out of anger, in the end, I start thinking about, like, wow, that's very immature of me of cutting her off and just saying F you, bye. Sometimes, like, I just have to, like, there's just a part of me that just wants me to be like, you know what, I just want you to do well, and I wish you well, but this isn't working out. And that's, for me, it's the mature way of saying it, but a lot of my girls will just tell me, like, you know what, Kat, you're too nice. You just need to tell that girl to F off. But anyways, does anyone else want to share? Anyone else? Going once, going twice. That was the last question. And do we have any announcements we want to go over with Tawanda, Corinne?
No, just to have everyone DM us on Instagram if they're interested in the accountability group, because we'll be officially kicking it off soon.
Perfect. And also, I did have an announcement I did want to say. As far as like our Instagram page, definitely follow, and as well as like our Facebook group. And there's something I wanted to announce, but I just can't remember. But how about you, Tawanda? Do you have anything to say or to any? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no announcements for me, but thank you so much.
Definitely. Well, tomorrow we are going to be discussing online dating, and I will be hosting it. And so I do hope that you ladies definitely join us tomorrow. And do any of you listeners have any questions before I close the show?
One thing. Can you share with everyone on the different sites that they can listen to our shows and also suggest topics for future?
Where they can listen? Oh yeah, definitely. So we do have our shows like posted on the podcast for Spotify, and I will be putting that link on the Real Girlfriends platform. Like if you're friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all of our other groups is going to be there. And I'll also share like the Anchor and Corinne, what are the other platforms we post this podcast at? Corinne?
Hello,
Corinne.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm here. We are on Anchor. Yeah, we're on Anchor, Podcast, Radio Public, Breaker, Google Podcast, Spotify, Blog Talk Radio, Speaker, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Castro, and Castbox.
Yeah. So what I'll do, thank you, Corinne, because I don't have them on the top of my head. And Corinne's the one that's responsible for posting these podcasts. So I give her all these thanks because I don't do it. She does an amazing job. And so definitely check out our podcast like on all those platforms. And like I said, like I'll post them on all of our social media sites. And yeah, so everyone, that was all for tonight. I had fun discussing this fun topic with you ladies. I really appreciate you who all dialed in, and I appreciate our listeners. Don't forget to listen and share this with the women and you know. So please follow us on IG, Real Girlfriends 7, and on the website, realgirlfriends.org. Tomorrow we will be discussing online dating. And again, I am Kat, and until next time, stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
ladies.
you. Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Have a good night.
My girlfriend, that's what it is.